What's going on, everybody? We are camping. So I am at Kalaloch in Washington here along the Olympic National Park along the Washington coast. Got ourselves a little campsite here. We're gonna go to the beach while we still have some sunlight. That's the campgrounds here, right along this edge. We are cozied up in the camper, watching The Wire. Sunset was decent, nothing crazy tonight, so I didn't end up photographing it. Instead, I just decided to play with Bear at the beach because it's really the whole intention of this trip is just to have fun and relax and play with my dog. I did bring some camera gear. Might get out and get some shots, see what happens. I'm in a beautiful place up here in Kalaloch. If you're not too familiar with it, Olympic National Park kind of territory. The campgrounds apparently close tomorrow, so there's some storm coming in, which I really didn't see in the radar and stuff. So I'm not sure what that's all about. I keep hoping, fingers crossed, that for some reason that was just bad information, and maybe they'll come around tomorrow and say that we can stay longer because we're supposed to be out of here at noon. Maybe tomorrow morning we can get out a little bit. Stay tuned. Look at that. Look at this. Can you see these colors? Lead the way, Bear. All right, here we go. Good morning from Kalaloch. Wasn't really planning to shoot this morning. Sunrise isn't really the best on the west coast, unless you can face east, which you'd be looking away from the ocean, which is the whole point of being out here. However, there is a photo I've tried to get for years, and looking at it yesterday, it's kind of sad, but the Tree of Life, pretty famous, iconic spot out here. Looks like it's pretty much at its last stand. I feel like it's very low. I think it might almost be touching the ground now. And I'm thinking, maybe I'll try to get a shot of that this morning. Maybe one last hurrah, because if I've learned anything over the years, even if something is super popular and overdone, get your shot anyway, because there's been many times I've been over it or whatever, only to have Mother Nature take it back. So yeah, try to get things, even if it's not special at the moment. You might look back in a few years and go, I'm glad I got that. Got the beach to ourselves, and we're almost up here. Hoping we get there's a little bit of high cloud. We're kind of in that area. Unfortunately, like I mentioned last night, they're supposed to close this campgrounds at noon, which sucks. So there's not really any other spots in this whole area. So we'll see. So it's right out there. Right there. It's in a dark spot. So sun should be coming up. I think it's over there. Hold on, you guys are a little too bright. There we go. Got a filter on now. So you can see sun will probably be rising up over here. It's still pretty dark along this front ledge here, but the campgrounds are just right behind here. The worst part is I purposely tried to camp next to a entry, but that entry has been washed out, so they really don't want you going that way. See all that fog coming in down there? We got an eagle up there. But yeah, that's what's cool about this spot, man. You just get all that nature. Oh, there he goes. He's dipping and diving at the crows. So here's our tree. Not really any. I think what I've always struggled with is finding a composition for it. So this driftwood in front is always obviously changing. So it's hard to find kind of cool leading lines. It's just kind of what it is. But in this case, I'm just going to shoot a plain and simple shot of it just to kind of record, and I'm going to try my best to get some good light and get a good exposure on this thing and maybe something creative. We'll see what we can come up with. We'll look around here. There is a nice little edge here, but that's way to the side. So I don't know, I'll walk you around here real quick, but we're getting a little bit of clouds. I wore red so that you'd be able to see me better, but yeah, it's a little dark through here. All this foreground is just messy and gross, so I don't really plan on using that. There's a little stream through here, but that might help a little if I get low, get some separation. Let's get set up and get to shooting. What do you say, Bear? Should we try with a little wide angle? Oh man, I'm watching this eagle just flying through the mist. All right, let's work this real quick while we got a few high clouds and go from there. I may have found something here. I'm being very careful not to step too much because the mud is still fresh here and I don't want to get my footprints in it. But there is a little, I kind of like these pebbles, and there's like a little piece of driftwood. The issue I'm having is this hard line right across just totally breaks your eye. So I don't know, back of the camera looks okay. I'm trying to use my imagination. So I'm shooting at 14 millimeters right now. Try that. I just don't know if it's really doing the tree any grand justice. I'm trying to shoot up at it to give it more of a heroic, you know, looking up at it in all its might. I don't know if I'm gonna sell that, but yeah, I'm remembering why I struggle so much here. It's a very cool scene, but I don't think it translates in a photo as well, or at least, you know, something you'd want to hang on your wall. But also, I mean, sometimes you're just fooled by the back of the camera and little processing and bring it up in the computer and maybe it'll come around. But all right, we're getting pretty close to these clouds being just in the right spot. Yeah, see those coming in? Yeah, that's what you want. Almost has some nice glow to it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try and shoot this. Oh yeah, I mean, it looks pretty sweet back in the back of the camera. I'm thankful for those clouds. So this, yeah, at least this, it's a little bit messy, but it's broken up just enough to maybe be a little more interesting than just nothing. So 14 millimeters, try to get a little bit looking up. 1/15 of a second, f11, ISO 100. There we go. Dude, these clouds are making it pretty sweet. Just waiting for that gap to fill in a little bit over there. These are kind of like, I call like, at least the front part, like a Renaissance cloud, you know, like they look like in those paintings. Oh, kingfisher, can hear him. Just saw him in the tree there. That's definitely, I'm not a bird nerd, but that's one that I want to get because they are cool. All right, I'm gonna get a horizontal as well. I think just a bag one. I like this, you can see the sidewalls here. So that's kind of adds to the story here. So now it's just a matter of getting this thing lined up.
Now I did try a few other angles to see how that might look, but when I got home and reviewed the images, straight on was really the shot that I felt was the strongest. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think any of these other alternatives are good? Or do you prefer the straight-on image as well? I am glad I stuck around for one more shot. As the mist rolled in and the sun hit the horizon, I finally got the shot that I had been after for years. The Tree of Life.
Nice. Little jumping catch. Well, he did really good chilling while I shot photos, so I figure now it's time we play. Although conditions are still really good right now, I would love to be out shooting. I also love to be playing with my dog, so I'm not too worried about it. Ready? This is the dream though. Every time I come to the coast and I see people playing with their dog, I was always jealous, so now I can finally do that. Yeah, unfortunately my last dog, Murphy, when I finally started bringing him to the coast, he was just too old. And but we got one last trip before he passed, so that was it was actually this spot here. So cool memories here, always. Tree of Life. All right, guys, just want to give you a quick little lay of the land here. Campsite last night, and here's the setup. Got the Escapade Topo Original 1. Check out the inside. Yes, it's lived in currently, so it's a little messy, but that's how it goes. That's all storage and cool stuff like that. We got the Stargazer light there. Big old 33s on there. And the galley back here. So food storage is all behind this. This thing comes off, turns into a table that you can mount right there, or you can mount it right off this fender as well. And this is a hot water, instant hot water, so it's a shower slash if you want to do dishes and stuff. Propane, refrigerator, 2-burner stove. Don't mind that. I need to replace those got a little fried. And then up front, storage. So I got a lithium battery in there, which I was really glad that I upgraded to that from the AGM, because way more efficient and just really nice battery. And Rome awning. Awning's okay. Good quality, just pain in the butt to set up by yourself. We got the bear. Okay, we're gonna go. Where should we go? Ruby Beach. It's always a fun spot to check out. Let's go over there. Oh yeah, Ruby Beach with the bear.